Kunjokwa, Sawadahuncio ska ni Gariwesa, de Chiriwanu Horado ne Sungwaya Dison, ne Wahi Rosa Año, ne Gadi ne Ohandu Gariwadekwa, Ungawana Hetstu. Ona Sawadahuncio Kunjokwa, ne Egadi Ohandu Gariwadekwa, Ungade Wanungode. Agwego unska, andirwa wait nuni, ne ungwa nigura, dano dea tinorado, ne agwego yunki e nawase, ji owenjade. Agwego unska, andirwa wait nuni, ne ungwa nigura, dano dea tinorado, ne agwego yunki e nawase, ji tkaronyade. Dano onagadi, agwego unska, andirwa wait nuni, ne sungwaya disung. To niodunhak, ne zewat nigura. Today we give greetings and thanks that all the things on the earth and in the heavens continue to fulfill the responsibilities and therefore make it possible for us to exist as human beings. We acknowledge and give thanks to the Creator of all things and the energy of creation that this is so. Sego sewa gwego, wat kwanu waradu, Kanonhsyonne yungyats, garahquine Catherine Brant goha, yundajats, ne age nistonha, Dano Janice Hill, Goha, Rumwayats, Ne Rage Niha, Wage Nyatu, Ganyunke Haga, Ni Wagwe, Hunjodu, Gundege, Nida Wagenu, Gundege, Gunagare. Kanonhsyonne, she is making a house, my traditional name. That is what they call me. My name given to me by the Turtle Clan mother in consultation with my sisters. My deceased mother is Catherine Brant. My deceased father is Janice Hill. I am Turtle Clan of the Mohawk Nation. I am from Gundege, and that is where I live. In a more formal introduction, I would continue on to tell you about my family, my children, and who my grandparents are, and so on. For today, I will say that both of my parents and all of my grandparents, at least 6 generations back, are Ganyunke Haga. I can trace my ancestry back to 1784, when my people, the Mohawks of Fort Hunter, from the Mohawk Valley in Upper New York State, arrived at our resettlement at the Bay of Quinte in Ontario. This was a direct result of the American Revolution and the signing of the Treaty of Paris in 1783, which prompted our forcible removal from our native homelands. It's customary and respectful that before I address a group, I place myself in relation to who I am within my family, my clan, and my nation. It's important that I position myself so that you know where I am speaking from and what informs me and where I am in relation to you and this land we stand on today. Ganyunke Haga are relational people. Our original instructions, as given to us by the Creator, include our relationship and responsibility to the land, the cosmos, and everything in between. These instructions embrace our oral traditions passed down by our ancestors and include our Ohandu Gariwadekwa, our creation story, and our cycle of ceremonies. All the teachings we received from the Creator revolve around our duty and responsibility to respect and live in harmony with everything that has been provided for our use in the natural world here on Mother Earth. These original instructions are my worldview, my epistemology. It was historically customary that when someone was approaching our settlement, they would light a fire to indicate they wished to enter. Someone from the community would be sent to determine who it was and what their business was. If it was acceptable, they would be invited in and escorted to the village, where they would be offered food and drink prior to being asked what their business was. They would be invited to rest from their travels and brush off the dust of the road. To my knowledge, we no longer light fires, but depending on our relationships and our business with each other, there are still protocols in place for coming into our communities and for welcoming, especially within the traditional community, which always include formal words, food, and at times gifting. This past weekend marked the 235th anniversary of the landing of the Mohawks on the Bay of Quinte. This is an event which we mark annually with a reenactment, sharing of our history, food, story, and religious celebrations. Many of the Mohawks who landed at what is now Tyendinaga or Gundege had long been Christianized, but also practiced longhouse ceremonies, albeit underground. Our history tells of the friendly Mississaugas who greeted us as we arrived, and that we shared food, gifts, traditional songs, and dancing to mark the event. Throughout the event, we speak to the fact that our original homelands are located along the Mohawk River in what is now New York State, but that we came to the Bay of Quinte because it was known hunting grounds. Evidence of early longhouses exists at Amherst View and within the city of Kingston, with the Amherst View remains dated at around the year 1100. We also know that following our settlement on what became known as the Mohawk Tract, the Mississaugas moved to Grape Island, and then on to the communities of Alderville, Hiawatha, and Scugog Island. This exemplifies one of the challenges in any form of land acknowledgement for this area and elsewhere. I know from my involvement with the Longhouse and the reinstatement of remains that there is archaeological proof of many nations of Indigenous people on the land, the Mississauga, the Mohawks, and the Wendots, to name a few. Each have and state historical claim to the land. As with the whole of Turtle Island, our peoples roamed, hunted, settled, warred, and made treaty with each other at various times in history and at various locations. Some colleagues at sister universities have now taken up the practice of land affirmation as opposed to acknowledgement, and also acknowledge the treaty holders separately from the perhaps historical landholders. The numbered treaties are creations which happened after contact and with the influence of colonizers, whereas other agreements, such as wampums, may have been negotiated strictly between Indigenous nations, such as the Dish with One Spoon. The Dish with One Spoon covenant between the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe refers to the stewardship of shared territories and hunting grounds, the Dish, and the collective responsibility to ensure there was always enough game and fish for all. The use of a spoon ensures there are no sharp utensils, and therefore no fear of harm between the parties to the covenant. It applies to the Great Lakes region and is still acknowledged as relevant. It's important to pay respect to ancestral and traditional territories and local Indigenous communities. In doing so, we honor the Indigenous ancestors or stewards of the land and speak to our personal or social relationship with the land. I believe this is the crux of this issue. The importance of doing more than acknowledging, as this could be construed as merely paying lip service, while transformation into action would speak to true acts of reconciliation. In conversation with Dr. Kim Anderson a few months ago, speaking about reconciliation and about what that actually means, she reiterated that reconciliation is about land, language, and kinship. These are the things we're talking about when we are acknowledging the traditional stewards of the land. We are acknowledging their lifelong, since time immemorial, relationship to the land. Our languages, which rise out of our land, and our relationships or kinship with the land and with all living things, and with each other. Everything is about the land. I have thought long and hard about that conversation with Kim and what exactly it means for reconciliation to be about land, language, and kinship. To be meaningful and respectful, a territorial acknowledgement needs to be intentional and not something done by rote, to check a box. This is a time to give thanks. Consider our individual and collective relationships between Indigenous peoples and communities and the rest of the country. I would encourage all of you to consider the land you sit on. How did you come to reside there? What is your relationship with that particular place on Turtle Island? Do you know who the original inhabitants of that place are? Do you have a relationship with them? Do you have a relationship with the land and all of creation where you sit? If not, perhaps it's time to consider these things. Nyawakoa.